There's a man you've seen before, maybe at the gym, maybe at the office, maybe across the street. He walks differently, slower, deliberate, like every step was a decision he already made. He doesn't check his phone every 3 minutes. He doesn't complain about Mondays. He doesn't need a motivational quote to get out of bed. He just moves. And you looked at him and thought, what does he know that I don't? The answer isn't a morning routine. It's not a cold shower. It's not a productivity app. It's a 400-year-old principle at the core of Bushido, one that samurai used not to become warriors, but to become men, completely, irreversibly. It's called Kaku-go. And by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why most men will never find it, and why the ones who do never go back. Kaku-go, the warrior's resolution of mind. Not the readiness to fight, the readiness to live with full commitment, without excuses, every single day. This is not about becoming a samurai, but it will require something modern men almost never do. Decide, once and permanently, who you are. Most coaches won't tell you this. They'll sell you habits, systems, better tools. Kaku-go disagrees. Decisions build men. Tools don't. But here's the warning. This is not for everyone. It demands that you accept something uncomfortable, that you have been living below yourself. Not because life hasn't been hard, because somewhere along the way you stopped deciding. If that makes you defensive, close this video. If it makes you lean forward, stay. Before we go further, subscribe and write one thing in the comments. What's the one area of your life where you know you've been settling? Just one. That answer will matter more than you think by the end of this video. His name is Marcus, 34 years old, project manager. Lives alone in a one-bedroom apartment he's been meaning to redecorate for 2 years. From the outside, Marcus is fine. Job is stable. He works out sometimes. He reads when he feels like it. He's good at talking about what he's going to do. New goals, new energy every Monday. By Thursday, something always comes up. He told himself for 3 years that he just needed the right moment. The right version of himself, arriving any day now. Then, one evening, a Tuesday, nothing special. He was sitting at his desk, document open, untouched for 4 days, phone face down, room quiet. And he felt it. Not sadness, worse than that. A kind of hollow stillness, like he was watching his own life from the back row of a theater and the main character just wasn't showing up. He sat there for 47 minutes without moving. That was the night he found an old translation of the Hagaku-re, a samurai text most people dismiss as history. He almost closed it after the first page. He didn't. Chapter 1. Kaku-go, the decision that ends all decisions. Kaku-go does not mean preparation. That's a lazy translation. Kaku-go means resolution, a state of mind in which a man has already accepted what is required of him before the situation demands it. Samurai in feudal Japan lived under a constant reality. Any moment could be their last. Not as a fear, as a fact. They wasted nothing, not a word, not an hour, not a choice. Marcus read about this and thought it was poetic, nice philosophy for another century. Then he asked himself a question he'd been avoiding for years. If I keep living exactly as I am right now, what does my life look like in 5 years? The answer came fast. It wasn't dramatic. It was just quiet. And worse. Not goals, standards. A goal is something you reach for. A standard is something you refuse to fall below. The samurai understood this distinction. Most modern men never make it. Kakugo is the moment a man sets his standard, once, without revision. Marcus wrote 3 lines in a notebook that night. No list, no plan, just 3 lines about who he was going to be. He didn't know yet that those 3 lines would cost him everything comfortable about his life. But then he discovered the second principle and a problem he hadn't expected. Chapter 2. Meiyo, Honor as Daily Architecture. Meiyo is usually translated as honor, but the samurai concept had nothing to do with reputation. It had everything to do with alignment. One question: does your behavior match your word? Not in public, in private, when the room is empty and no one will ever know. Marcus started noticing the gaps. He said he valued his health, but skipped sleep without a second thought. He said he valued discipline, but scrolled for 90 minutes before bed every night. He said he took his work seriously, but let 3 emails sit unanswered for a week because he didn't feel like it. None of these were catastrophic. That was the problem. All small enough to forgive. And he had been forgiving them for years. The samurai called this the rot beneath the armor. You look fine on the outside. Inside, something is collapsing. Marcus made one rule. Every day, identify one thing he had promised himself, and keep it. Not because it was important, because he had said he would. Within 6 weeks, something unexpected happened. He started keeping promises he hadn't even made yet. Decisions came faster. The constant negotiating, the "I'll start tomorrow," began to dissolve. His friends noticed. They asked what changed. He didn't answer, because he didn't know how to explain that nothing changed, except that he had stopped lying to himself. But just when Marcus thought he understood the system, he broke it. Chapter 3. Heijo Shin, the mind that doesn't move. Heijo Shin, the mind that remains itself regardless of circumstances. Not coldness, not emotional distance. A trained baseline, the difference between a man who reacts and a man who responds. 3 months into his practice, Marcus lost a major project at work. Not fired, passed over, given to someone younger, with less experience. He spiraled. 3 days of low energy, canceled plans, phone face up on the desk again. Then he reread a single sentence he had written the night he started. A man is not measured by what disrupts him. He is measured by how quickly he returns to himself. Heijo Shin is not about staying calm. It's about having a self to return to. And that is exactly what the samurai built. Not discipline, not willpower, but an identity so clear it functioned as an anchor. Marcus went back to his 3 lines, and he acted in accordance with them, even when he didn't feel like it. Especially when he didn't feel like it. He thought he had the system figured out. He was wrong, and the mistake he made next was one the Hagaku-rei specifically warns against. He just hadn't read that part yet. Chapter 4. Utsuro, the Hollow Man. 6 months in, Marcus made the one mistake the system specifically warns against. And he didn't see it coming. He started performing. He had shared his process with a few people. They admired it. He started curating it, doing the things that looked like the system instead of living it. He timed his workouts for when people could see. He read only books he could mention in conversation. He had replaced identity with image. The Hagaku-rei calls this Utsuro, the Hollow Man, a warrior who has mastered all the forms but lost the core. The most dangerous failure because from the outside, he still looks like the real thing. Marcus caught it in a single moment. A junior colleague challenged his idea publicly. He felt the old panic, the need to defend, to perform, to win the room. He stepped out and stood in a stairwell for 4 minutes, just stood there, and asked himself the samurai's question. Would I do this if no one ever knew? The answer told him everything, and it cost him the next 6 weeks to rebuild what he'd quietly dismantled. Kokugo is not a performance. It's a private architecture, built in silence, lived in public, but never for the public. Chapter 5. The System Complete. Kakugo, a decided identity. A standard you chose, not inherited, not borrowed from someone else's definition of a man. Meiyo. Does your behavior match your word in the moments no one sees? Heijoshin. When life disrupts you, and it will, you have a self to come back to. Marcus stopped waiting for his life to feel like something. It already did. 1 year later, Marcus was not someone who was trying to be a man. He was one. Maybe you're exactly where Marcus was. Maybe you've been starting and stopping for years. Maybe you're successful by other people's measurements and quietly hollow by your own. Your situation is different. The system is the same. Kakugo. Decide who you are. Once. Without revision. Meiyo. Keep your word to yourself in the moments that cost you something. Heijoshin. Build a self stable enough to return to when life hits. You already know which part of your life you've been settling in. You wrote it in the comments. You knew it before this video started. The question was never whether you know what needs to change. The question was always whether you're someone who changes it. That man you saw, the one who walks deliberately, who doesn't need Monday motivation, who just moves. He made a decision no one saw, and he never unmade it.